And I have witnessed this over and over and over and over and over and over. And
So what do you do? Can you repeat again, please?
okay,
Can
so
you run can you write this as a blueprint, Dr. Klaus? And please
so,
explain. I will write it down. You
so
have,
basically,
let me explain something, Benjamin. There are no FDAs and there are no health authority regulation in Africa. People are always supporting themselves with what Earth gives, and a gas water of CO2 is what the Earth provides. So there is no control. If they tell you you got AIDS, you have to do this and that, you need FDA certificate medicine. It costs a few $100. Get yourself to Africa, use the CO2 and come back and the materials, and then you're free. Go ahead, please.
as you okay, so I take 2 ml of zinc oxide plasma or zinc plasma. Let me put
Can
it
you
short.
speak a bit louder, please?
I take 2 ml of zinc plasma and then get a purified water or a bottled water of 500 ml, and then I add it to it for the patient, and then I will tell him to take about 3 tablespoons in the morning, in the afternoon, and then in the evening until the bottle finishes. But before the bottle finishes, he himself will come to me. He will say, I have regained a lot of energy than before. I can do steps climbing without, pausing in between buildings. Okay. Or when I reach the first floor, sometimes I rest before I continue. Now I can go throughout. So this is what happens with a high blood uh, uh, pressure patient. And with the same application, I have seen with the skin diseases like eczema. And so I was treating one guy with eczema, uh, and he used to buy a lot of body cream for that. Every week, I think he was buying a pack because he didn't want to, see these things on his face. And I said, why are you treating the effect, not the cause? And he looked at me and he said, what do you mean? I said, the thing is inside you. You lack zinc because zinc controls about 300 enzymic functions in the body. And when the body becomes depleted of this, it translates into a lot of things, because this 300 enzymic function breaks down into other 2000 smaller functions. So zinc is very important in the body. And then he said, so what can I do? I said, give me a bottle of water. And then I did the zinc for him also to drink. But this time I increased it. I increased the dosage, because it was acute and it was, always reoccurring. I added 4 to the 500 ml of the uh, 500 ml of 500 ml of water. I introduced 4 ml of the zinc plasma in the water. And what happened was phenomenal. He rushes to me after 2 weeks and say, look, it's gone, my whole chest, look. And he bared it in front of me, in front of the chemistry building, and say, look, it's gone. Where is it? I said, well, I don't know where it is, but I believe you have applied it. Yeah, the zinc have taken it, or what the body need as a supplement in the form of zinc have been replaced. So we can go on and on and on to share with you people who cannot even lift their hand. There was a woman I treated with C3 and zinc. Okay, he couldn't lift the arm beyond his shoulder. Okay, he couldn't even raise it up. And so I introduced her to CH3 first, because she was constipated a lot. So I introduced her to the CH3, and what the CH3 did was to remove what do you call it, the waste in the body. And after finishing with the 1.5 liter of the CH3. I put her on zinc. And she calls me in the morning one day. She said, I was in bed and I felt like raising my hand, and I just raised my hand, and that was it. And she said, oh, it's a miracle because for months now, for 6 months now, I couldn't raise it. And when I try raising my hand, I feel so much pain in the hand. But now I can raise it. And they said, what is in that water? I said, I don't know. Zinc. And that was it. So I can give you a list of things that I have done with people, but you when you come down, we will share and then show um people. Even people will be present to see how their health with pictures backing this claim. How uh, uh, somebody whose leg was nearly amputated finally is restored, he's back to work, and so on, and many more. Okay.
Okay, Benjamin, is it possible that you could bring these people to show in the
Congress.
conference?
It's possible. It's possible.
Paul, I would like to make you an offer. If
Okay.
you can get the couple, if confirms the way it is that the AIDS has been done,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Well,
Paul in Togo,
Mr. K.
we are we are prepared to pay for the expenses of them to join us in Ghana conference, that the people can see these people in person.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Let
Thank
me
you.
announce this is our plan. On the 20th, the Keshe Foundation generator will be shown simultaneously in Vatican and in Ghana. The unit will be taken to the house of Pope and will be shown in the house. Once we get a full confirmation of this, which has already been told we should be done, on the 20th we will show the generator operation, and at the same time, highly possible, on the 20th in Ghana we will show the flight system. This is what is our plan. We hope we can achieve it. On the back of the conference, on the 20th, the power generation will be shown both in Rome and Ghana at the same time. This has been the wish of the present Pope to eradicate crisis in Africa, and we in hand respond. At the moment, our people, our connections announce this is a very much possibility. We announce it beforehand that it will be shown in Rome, in Vatican, and in Ghana at the same time. The other announcement I have to make for you is that we confirm if you want to be present in Rome on the 11th to 15th of December, we have accommodation for 400 beds with a full conference room and exhibition room, which means you can book exhibition space. It will be decided what it will be if you want to exhibit anything which is to do with the GANs or nano products, and you can make your booking now. We open the switchboard. It is confirmed from 11th to the 15th of December. Rome Crown Plaza Hotel will be the scene for the second international conference. I explain to you again, bring what you want, and in this section when you apply you can put I want to present. I want to present paper, I want to present material. Those of you who have problem possible to get visa, to enter, to show, you have to tell us immediately that we organize the hotel to arrange for your visa. They release a paper to you for the embassy to get visas. So there should not be any problem. We have come to some sort of arrangement with the Holiday Inn Crown Plaza in Rome because it's isolated, it can be protected, in a beautiful place as you've seen it, that we hold next 12 months conferences in the same hotel in the same position. It gives us a lot of freedom. We don't need to look for different countries for acceptance. And we have a full support of the national security of Italy for you and us, and in a way that we are part of Italian structure. Now we're making Rome the center of the new technology. We still have conferences like in Ghana or other places if you want to organize, but we announce the holding of the what we call the second scientific Universal Council presentation of papers and technologies in Rome between the 11th and the 15th of December. The meeting is on the 12th, 13th and 14th. Either night you get a chance to stay if you want, or to fly in or fly out. We are booking into the system directly, which means if you have anything to do, if you developed anything in the space technology and plasma, health, materials, energy, transportation, environment, GANs and nanotechnology, agriculture and anything else you see, toys made out of these things, you have a platform. But you have to receive a clearance from our security before you enter. People who are in Rome, they know we bring heavily protected officers, that the condition when you arrive is safe. We don't allow anything out of line. You want to show something, you want to learn something, you want to be part of the plasma development. You're a doctor, you want to see what are the new systems coming up that you can use for your patients or whatever, everything will be facilitated. You're a doctor, you want to share the knowledge of what happened with your patients, or you're an engineer, still be supported. I have an announcement to make for you very, which is what we promised. In the next few coming time, hopefully before we go to Ghana, the Keshe Foundation will release, in cooperation or collaboration with organizations, different ways of manufacturing and delivering factories to location. We spoke about the container ship. Now we are in the verge of developing it. So when you become a manufacturer, you don't have to look whatever. You buy a container, everything is in it, what you need. All you need to is provide the raw material, and our team headed with Mr. Mike Harris will teach and train your staff. We have Richard, which is joining to Keshe Foundation from Holland, responsible for training and setting up these structures. They are bringing people, we're becoming very specialized. In Italy, from next week, we are setting up a decontamination unit group, which means we are bringing people in. If there is any decontamination, this gentleman who is starting the structure is well known in Italy for these kind of things and is becoming part of Keshe Foundation. Water decontamination, land decontamination, purification of the water systems, purification of land, radioactive decontamination, all these. From next week, we have a team, we're structuring a team in Italy. So you have a land, you know somewhere it needs to be cleaned up, the team will be here to respond. And we are building systems for this production, for these facilities, where water can come into the system, purified and released. We have tested it, it works now. We are bringing an organized team for environmental cleanup using the GANS technology. The backup factory, which is joining us hopefully, they will produce the machinery. So if you're in a land cleanup or you want to be in environmental cleanup, you can buy a system, a factory structure, you open the container, everything is in it, all you need is to put the material in it to clean up, and this is how it will be done. Any other participation? I was told Peter has written something to the council or to Rick about the meeting of the Universal Council last weekend. You want to read it?
Sure, I can read that, Mr. Kesh. That pulled up here. Maybe I'll show the document as I read it. It might be easier for people to follow along. Okay, let's get it set up here.
While you're setting up, on the 15th of December, if we are in Rome, the presentation, the Thursday teachings will be done in public the way you saw we did in Rome last Thursday. As people walked into the teaching, into the room, they could participate being part of the teaching. So if we are in Rome, if we get enough time to come back from Ghana to be there, then we carry on the teaching on Thursday morning. If some of you like to be part of it, we'll be in the conference hall or in the room somewhere. Present. Go ahead, please.
Okay, this is from Peter about the conference of the Universal Council in Rome. Make sure my live stream. Okay, so it starts out. Coming back from the conference, I wanted to report the news, but couldn't do so because of a hacker attack on Facebook. So I was occupied the whole day preventing bad things to happen. So I thought maybe then it's better not to report much. But one thing I must share, it is very precious to me, and I want to share it with the whole world, and in a way it encompasses the essence of what we experienced in Rome. It was a 22 hours giving and sharing day by day. When I came back, I felt a little bit dizzy, but it doesn't matter. In my soul, I felt stronger as ever before. The last day, Mr. Kesh asked me about my gold reactors and said I could have become a very rich man. I answered that my treasure is in the heaven upstairs and that I don't need much. More money, more problems. I still think that was the only right answer to give. I, for me, discovered the mystery of life. It's the giving. Universe is a giver. The sun is a giver. The creator and his partner are givers. Plasma is a giver, and I think we can understand the plasma only from this point of view. We heard Mr. Kesh many times speaking of that, but how many grasped it? I believe Mr. Kesh is the strongest man in the world, maybe in the universe. I want to become as strong as him. He is my perfect example. There was a Bulgarian master, Oram Mikhail Ivanov. He always said, search for the strongest example, your very best idol, and try to become like him. This would be very beneficial for your soul. So now, now I know which road I have to take. It's the way of giving. In a way, it's not new to me. I've always tried to live that way. But thanks to Mr. Kesh, my giving will become stronger as ever. A way of giving so that your left hand, the taker, does not know what the right hand, the giver, gives. Not knowing what comes back, but looking what goes out from you. I'll just mute you there, Mr. Kesh. See if I can find the microphone. There we are. Not knowing what comes back, but looking what goes out from you, and knowing that you will get more only in order to be able to give more. We have been educated in a very mad system that exists since thousands of years and doesn't match the way the universe works. It was a man-made prison. We must learn from childhood how to be able to take, how to get a good job that brings us good income, how to use your elbows to get a good place, how to be the first. We know nothing else than taking and fighting and have become a very bad species with never-ending wars and suffering. Mr. Kesh came to free us, but we have to go out of that prison by ourselves. That the way is our giving. The greed can only end if we make a complete 180-degree turn. I remember Mr. Kesh saying right before the Washington event that his greatest fear is that man will stop sharing if they have all they need. And I made myself a promise that this will not happen as long as I live. I am not alone and believe many others felt the same way. So it will be better, say, that this will not happen as long as we live, because we are already one. So our only concern and our only fear shall now be that we have not given enough. It's not important what others say about us. It's only important that in the end we can stand the judgment of our own soul. So all becomes very easy. We want to learn more about plasma. We just give. We want to become strong. We just give. And the good thing is we do not even have to learn something new. Everything we need is already within us. We can give a smile, a helping hand. We can give knowledge. We can help the good things in others to face the daylight. We can comfort. Our presence can uplift, and we can even use our words and our voice to elevate the soul. We are in an upward going torus, and there is no end. Only we ourselves can stop the process. We discussed in Rome about the world situation, and that even if we are in the millions compared to the world population, we are very rare. And one dear soul said, maybe we are just the GANs of humanity. I found this very appropriate. So in changing ourselves, we will change the whole planet. So let us give the way we have never done before. Let us give as if it would be the last opportunity to do so. Let's be so contagious that we may infect each and every one. Let's celebrate the real life. This was the experience that I wanted to share with you, and what I think is most important to know if we work with the plasma, or better, the other way around, if the plasma decides to work with us. The only problem now will be that others have no more excuse now. They cannot say anymore they didn't know what to do. They have read my words and they have to act. With all my love, Peter Salushay. Okay, thank you, Peter. And on unmute you, Mr. Kesh there. I had you muted.
Yep. You take my voice away whenever you decide. No problem.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. This is how we have seen, this is how the structure is becoming. People deciding for themselves to bring the change. We are just what we call a tool. No more. And it's also got to bring the change. We just teach the knowledge and we show how the knowledge can be used in a positive way, in a very, very positive way. We don't need to go to the extent of understanding more. We have to understand what we already received, and then we receive the totality of it. It is a proud moment for most of us as human beings that we have come to this point. We have achieved to become mature, to be able to understand that is us who's got to bring the change, is us who's the cause of the change. And it is us who's got to take the step to bring the change about. I can teach you a lot in a way. We had to reflect back on what we done and what we achieved, and it's not teaching all the time how you put reactors together. It's teaching how to put the reactors and the thoughts together that they give the fruit of life what we're expecting. A mixing of a GANs needs a reactor. You have to build the GANs. It doesn't come from fresh air. The intention of making it is good, that they'll serve somebody, then you see the result. Are there any other questions, or we call it a day?
Mr. Cash, this is Azad again.
I told you, Azad, you never finish asking questions.
No, this is not a question, because I was reading the chat from all the people, and then I was listening to people when we were in the conference. I think there's some stuff is not clear for some of us, or at least for me. So I want to tell you a story, and you hear my story, and you tell me if the story makes sense. That's the only way I can present my question. I mean, the story is this: some times ago, in 1961, someplace in the cosmos, there was a condition that the plasma, there's a magnetic field and gravitational forces condition was appropriate, and a soul was created. And this soul, it was staying up there looking at the cosmos, look at all the planets, and then was thinking, where am I supposed to go? And then she looked at the Earth and said, okay, this is pretty good because it's very challenging. That's the worst of all. So she was looking for a parent to come to existence. So she saw this couple who just got married, and they're having so much sex. So she said, okay, this is a good one. And suddenly, when the sperm entered the egg, she presented herself there, and she became that child. So the minute she became that child, the essence of that parents from all the generation has gone to her DNA and RNA. So, but once she was born, she didn't have access to all the information, because you cannot have access to it. So she has to go by the way of just knowing whatever was out in the environment. But then suddenly she was diverted from what she came here to do, because the time she was up there, she wrote her own manuscript, what she's going to do. But she got diverted, and then she got confused, and she was going to the wrong path, and she thought that the past life, she was born many times and all that, and there's a karma, and she has to pay back, and she shouldn't judge. So if we're not supposed to judge, so the person who kills or rapes, they're supposed to come and do all that. So I'm not supposed to judge a person who rapes, or a person who abuses a child, or a person who kills in a war zone. So what is our position? So are we going to come back and answer that? If I'm not supposed to judge, how can I prevent that? So suddenly now she got to this, presented to this organization called Cash Foundation, and Mr. Cash coming. So what do you have to say about this? Is the story make sense to you?
Not really.
Okay.
But it makes a very nice story.
Okay. So are we coming back?
Well, you can ask a question. Were you born in 1961?
Yes.
I don't know. You got to find out. Let me explain to you something. Yesterday we were coming down in the car, and I explained something to Caroline on the back of what you're talking about. And I said, you know, the discussion was about the father who has given all his wealth away, but not to his children. And this is the way this father thinks and works. And being Caroline and thinking of life in different ways, she came out automatically with an answer. He said, it's good. I said, what do you mean? He said, you know, they say all the crimes which the father and the ancestors have done, that they made the wealth, whatever they did which was wrong, goes with the wealth, and then it goes to the child because he gets the fruit of the crime or whatever, or a goodwill or whatever. He says, now he's given it away, nothing can go to the child, so he's isolated, he starts fresh. And so nothing goes from the crime of the past to be added or be taken into the future with the child. The point is, how do we see our lives? How do we expand our lives? When we go to space, are we going to pay for what our ancestors have done on this planet in respect to what we're going to do in the space? Or do we clean the space and the slate, as we say, for ourselves, that we go with a pure heart or a pure soul? In so many ways, when I teach you how to elevate your soul, is to balance from what your ancestors have done wrong in the past to hurt or damage the soul of the others, which are those souls still suffering for thousands of years. That those souls through you are elevated to become equal and in balance. Don't forget, you always pray for the others. In elevating the souls of the others for what has been done wrong to them by those who you are part of it, we are part of it. We bring all the souls of the past to the balance, and that's the time when the man will see the opening of a space. There's no use leaving suffering behind and hoping for the new future unless you eradicate and bring the suffering of the past to balance. We freed the man on the point of physical death from the suffering of this physicality. Now it's time to release his suffering from his soul, that all the souls as one soul move on. There's no use having a painful toe where the whole body has to limp because of it. Any other question?
This is Ali from Spaceship Institute. You said the ancients of the past used pyramids to bring peace. And I was really interested to hear more because you said there is third generation of generators based on pyramids.
I cannot understand what you're talking about. Can you repeat yourself? You're a bit far from microphone.
Oh, okay. I was saying that you said the ancients use pyramids to bring peace to this planet. And I would like to learn more about that information because you said there's a third generation of maggrav energy units or something like that that is very advanced, but it will reach to the soul of the creator.
The picture you put on the front page, what you show, has meaning for some of those who work with us very closely. In time, we will explain.
And also this one.
Doesn't matter how many you make make 7 billion of it, it's still the same.
This is like a star formation of it. In
Doesn't
12.
matter, it's
Yeah.
still the same.
Same. Okay.
This is what I said. All those little spots you put on the ground, and all those you shown just now in the other picture, it needs a top. If you understand the form of the star formation, for those of you who haven't understood up to now, can I have a sharing picture, please? Can I share my desktop?
Go ahead. You can annotate.
No, I don't need yours. I want to draw something.
Oh, okay. I'll stop sharing.
Can somebody give me a screen to share?
I think you should be able
I
to.
got it. Got it.
There we go.
It's coming. It's a very, very interesting, if you haven't understood. Where am I going? Why is it out of? Okay, new one. Do not save. No. When you have a star formation, these fields covers everything in every aspect. But what is important is the flow of the fields. And the strange thing is, when the field flows, it all gets mixed up, becomes balance, and feeds balance to the others. The star formation is the position of, if you look at it, we always said hydrogen sits on the top, the others underneath. And Um, if you look, is the position of the creator. Humble, knowing receives more, and it can give equal to all. Does not need much strength, because strength comes from receiving for those who have, for it to be the center. Something which a lot of you never noticed, and this is a very big problem in understanding of the new technology, is this. Very, very interesting. You always look in the wrong direction, and I'll show you something else, another point of view. Maybe I better raise this one. Let's put the wrong way. No, it is good enough. You have your 3 reactors and you have your top reactor. You always looked at the flow of the fields in this manner. What about the flow of the fields in this manner? Or in this manner? Or from here? Because if you look at it, the triangle is always the same. The flow still exists. Otherwise, the reactor will not be in its position. The only time a balanced field is distributed is when they all flow and they flow back. All the crimes of humanity and the universe is forgiven to become one, to be spread equal, that we carry unity of the universe. Does not matter if it's applied or not. Any other question?
Hello, Mr. Cash.
Yes.
It is Florin from Romania. I'm teaching for the Norwegians. I have 2 questions, and I have to show after that something. But first question, it is if we can weld the connection and the maggraph, and after that nanocode with this copper, I mean.
You want me to stop sharing?
No, I just, this is first question. If we can weld the connection in the maggraph, and after that, should I nanocode?
Depends on you. I don't know. Depends what you expect.
But can you explain about a little bit about this? Should I understand, please?
What do you want to understand about what part?
About the connection between the coils, if they are welded or they are twisted.
Depends what you want.
Okay. Let's say energy.
Depends on how you want to connect. When you weld, you still have an interface. When you weld, the plasmatic flow changes on the point of the interaction. When you solder, it's the same. You create a slightly different energy at the point of the interaction.
Okay.
When you twist, you share what it needs to be shared. They take and they leave what they want from it.
Okay.
There
because
is
I build.
in your talks. Let me explain something. Just 1 second. This is very interesting. For now in designs, we are totally reconsidering a lot of things in our work, and we're just adding to the knowledge, not reconsidering, seeing different options of it. And one of these options is this. You all are making these pins for the center of your capacitors, and you twist the top. And you build your foils on it. What about if you twist it this way? Some of you do. Or when you leave it open at this end, are you open to receiving energy from universe? Would it be any different if you make your connection on this side than this side? What about when you make your coils? All of you, what you do when it comes to the aluminum foil at the end, you just roll it, twist it over. What about if you twist back the paper on the foil? That it absorbs and holds all the energy back in it. All of you, you just roll the aluminum foil and then you put your thing on. What about if you fold it back on itself? You hold more capacitance, because now this edge is free into the universal energy. Here you feed it back to yourself. You build a much more stronger capacitor. You have to option, this is what I was talking to Innovation Center. You have to open your eyes in different form of connecting, and what that connection gives you. How does it give you? What about you make one of your maggraph coils with the open end? Carry on, please.
Yes, the second question. When I talked last time with you, I showed you my maggrav with the tubes. Now, what I'm planning to do, the screens for health by using the tubes and by using opposite guns. What is inside of the other should be, and what is in the gravitation should be opposite, but should be separate. One should be to one wall and the other ones to the other wall. And if it's a good idea, this is the questions. And more to this, if the tubes should be flat or should be universal, like 90 degrees, the gravitation one.
What do you want from it? What do you expect to get? Or why don't you try it and see what you get, what it'll give you?
I buy already and I start to do this, and I just want to know more from you about this.
I don't know. Depends how you mix your materials, how you position them. A lot of you still are in what I call a state of thinking. I have a maggraph system in the room. It doesn't work, or what it does. And others, it's like in agriculture, we have shown, okay, you give a gas water to one set of vegetables, and next door you're running a test trial to see how it is, the one which is gas water and the other one which is no gas water. But in fact, the gas water on top of the soil, and when it goes down, is shared by the guy next door. It's so close. So, and then they say there is not much difference. This is what we discuss in agriculture. This is something you will understand very, very quickly. Everything which is in that room has an effect on it, even you and your emotions. When you cultivate, for example, a lot of people say, okay, we use this patch of land and put potatoes in it and we give it a GANs. And then we lose another patch of the land, we give no GANs to it, and we did. Here I produce 6 kilograms, here I produce 9 kilograms. It's not that bad, it's near enough. But what about if you take the same seed and go 100 meters away in the same structure of the soil and put the seed on? You will see 2 kilograms. Because the proximity of the material has interaction. And they say, oh, it's not that big. But this is what I said to all my agricultural people. Do not run your trial, test seeds near where you're growing. Move somewhere else. Now you say, what about if I turn it and twist it? What are you turning it for? Why twisting it? What effect does it have in the environment around it? You are not in the line of connection anymore. If this wire is connected to that, you get electricity from it. Now, if this system is run, is plasmatic, it's going to affect that system. I tell you something, it's going to shock a lot of you, but sooner or later you see it. You remember your system, it says, beam me up, Scotty. Very soon, sooner than you think, you will see one. But the thing is, where are you going to land it, Scotty? You saw it, all of you saw the Scotty being beamed, but you never understood what the Scotty who beamed the guy were. Armor lost 2 balls. The others lost balls. This was a transmutation. This was a, what do you call, teletransportation. In a few months' time, in a few years' time, say, oh, the guy did it but never understood it. Now we tell you, understand, this is what it is, this is what happens. Any of you who work now in this field is capable of doing a lot of things. What we want to do in reality, a lot of you who work on the plasma technology, especially across Atlantic, and especially in Pacific, run your reactors, put zinc in it, and wish for the peace, and see how many soldiers of naval forces will walk off. Navies cannot fight when they have no soldiers who are there to fight. We saw the marching in Vietnam, people would not go to war. If you understand what I've given you, and if you understood what Paul and Benjamin told you, you have the same power. Those of you who are on one side of the Pacific and those of you who are on the other part of the Pacific, you all use zinc oxide, energize it, put your wish in it. I wonder if there will be any naval forces to fight. They'll all be anchoring somewhere because there are no soldiers to run it. But the wish of peace has to be there. It's the same zinc, it's the same core, it's the same everything. The only thing is changed is the wish of war changing to peace. But now it's not just wish, you have the tools to deliver it. You can paralyze armies. Now you have it. There is enough plasma reactors around the Pacific Ocean that you made to escape the earthquake, and you were so physical that I walked you into it. You're all hoping for the disaster you want to avoid. The disaster is the war. You were waiting for the earthquake to happen. It's you who are going to change the course of the earthquake. The earthquake is for the navies and naval forces. And military aircraft. You build all these systems, I'm going to do this, I'm going to have energy. If the earthquake comes, you are more equipped than anywhere else. But the earthquake is to stop the naval forces. The earthquake is for you, all of you, go on the internet, talk, I'm put my zinc in it, I put my things in it. You heard Paul telling you, I gave zinc and this is what it does. If you hear to Benjamin, you just need to mix something with zinc in it, and then you see the result of it. You have all the tools of peace. The conference was just a show. How many reactors are sitting in China? How many Chinese have developed the plasma reactors, rotating and Gansin and the rest of it? How many of you done across the Pacific Ocean? How many in Philippines, in Vietnam, in Australia, in New Zealand? All of you put a time tomorrow, next week, and run together. Put a GANS in it, zinc oxide, put a CH3 with it, which increases its power, and run, and wish. Ask for the support of the soul of the core team, the whole 12 of them, and ask for the core team center. And then ask for the member of the Universal Council that the wish comes through. you will see a lot of military officers will be running, even themselves don't know what they're doing. I showed you the cloud on the picture of the Keshe Foundation just going on. And I said these clouds are the reactors, gases, and everything else. You run it and wish it will come. They link up, and the soldiers are in between. The fish is in between. Caroline has started throwing water, CO2 everywhere, in every pond and fountain in Italy and in Rome and everywhere else. You do all the same. Now connect them. That's what I said. The biggest problem was they never stopped me teaching, writing books, teaching public. We start a peace process. We can do, we have to do it. It's our job as a human race to do it. Thousands of you. Don't wait and say, I turned it for 4 weeks, it's not doing anything. It will do its job and you will see the result. It needs to link up. Next time you go to port, you see a naval officer going on duty, give him a little thing, a bottle, say this brings luck, put it in your pocket, fill it up with zinc oxide and a bit of amino acid. You got yourself in his heart, you got yourself in his soul, and it'll go your way of thinking. If it's the correct way, it doesn't harm any other soul. I have literally infested the humanity with the plasma technology, and I don't need to do much more. We were in the conference from 35 nations. And that's a very, very little conference in a very, very place in Rome. We have spread the wish of peace across this planet. Now it's for you to deliver it. Understand it is not by a twist of something. You have twisted enough wires and you have done enough rotating. And the system to deliver it sits right amongst you, and we deliver it and it'll be there. So start moving and then you will see the change. It doesn't happen just because you have to change the grain of the thought of the man from killing. How you bend it doesn't matter. If it bends 80 degrees or it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This
Mr.
is
Keshe.
a gimmick show. Let me tell you something. This Keshe Foundation products and technology has become a gimmick show for people who want to see more of. Otherwise, there is something wrong with you.
I will bring more.
Meet you, see you in Rome on December the 12th, 13th, and 14th.
I hope so, but if you let me share, then I can explain to you some things more about.
I have no control over sharing. There's a boss.
Okay. Can you please let me share my video camera?
But before you share, what is this video? How is it taped? Is it somebody else's? Is there a music on it?
You have to see me first.
No, we don't want to see it, then they get a problem with sharing other people's work.
No, he's talking about his video camera, I think.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm talking about my video camera because everything is in the front of me.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so maybe we have to get that set up here. Let me see.
We have what we call internet inspector called what do you call it? The hold stop. It's got to be direct, that we cannot mess about. He's checking everything, Rick, that we don't lose anything.
Okay, you guys see me?
No, you see UCam.
UCam 5, please start your cam.
And now we see the eye of the professor.
Yeah, but I just
your camera is not. You don't have the correct camera selected in the Zoom. Probably, you have to go to the little arrow beside Start Video and select the camera.
I start the video, but
you gotta go on your option and choose the right camera.
Very strange, because before was not. I didn't need to do that.
It means God doesn't want you to share the knowledge. You're not ready yet.
Yeah. Okay. Let's leave like that. I can say to you guys. Saturday, I broke my pectoral muscle at the gym.
Pectoral, you broke a muscle.
Yeah, pectoral. The in the chest one. The chest one.
How can you break a muscle?
I
yeah, there. Now we can see you.
I lift around 140 kilo and I broke it. I didn't warm up enough my muscle.
You broke a bone or a muscle?
The muscle.
How you can't break a muscle? You tore a muscle. Okay.
I didn't.
You mean the muscle or the tendon came loose from the bone? Is that what happens?
We have some tendons here, and we have some muscles. What is going up to the shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay, the pectoral one of that one, because my muscles didn't warm up. I broke it one. When I lifted.
I understand. Okay, carry on.
Okay, but I just go to the hospital and everybody asks me about pain. You have pain, you have pain. They check me. I was to the MRI, to the everything. Do you have pain? Do you have pain? I said I don't have any pain. And now I just wondering, because I'm not sure if I'm correct or not. But I drink from this cup for a couple of months, But I have pain if I move my hand and things like that. But I don't have any pain, and I didn't take any painkiller. This is something very strange. I think also for them and also for me.
This is one of the properties of the being in contact with CO2, being in contact with nanomaterials. Because of the carbon connection in the CO2 and being in that environment, the pain does not transmit itself because it's an energy information and it does not transmit, it just balances itself out. The way we put a pain pad or a patch at the end of the amputation, and we get no phantom pain because it distributes, balances the information which is made out of the neurosystem. Especially if you use or been in touch with copper, you made it, you already have it in you. And I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I broke 10 bones falling off a horse, and I didn't feel any pain. I was walking. So this is why most probably I caused myself more damage getting and walking with all the bones broken, going into my liver and everything else. This is not a strange. I experienced it over 5 years ago. And a lot of people do. If you have a burn in the house, I always say, keep a bottle, just spray CO2 on it, wait 1 minute. There is no feeling. You never feel a pain or burn at all till the skin regenerates. Is it good or is it bad? We don't know. But in majority of the time, it's CO2 especially is a massive, massive pain relief. So I've seen what you're talking about. I've been there.
Just now I'm waiting for the call to go to the surgery because they have to put the muscle back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have no pain.
No, I don't have any pain.
I know, I've been there. Not pain being there, the energy is getting used for repair. You find out your repair will be much faster than normal because the energy which is used. But
I feel more tired than when I was healthy. I feel very tired. I have to go very quick to bed right now.
Yeah. Good night. God bless you.
Yeah,
enjoy your bed.
I
hope your pain is relieved, and I hope that surgery will be successful.
Yeah, it will be. I think everything will be okay. Okay, Mr. Kesh. Something else what I have to show you, because I said I will show you something. I built a health pan.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is a bit unusual than we see it from right now.
I've never seen two similar health pan except the ones we manufacture.
But this is a bit different, and I built it by thinking, by seeing a galaxy and the universe, you know, with the